Max bet time, Cox Plate time. Let's get into it. First thing tonight is free. 3 meetings tonight. Get on the King.zone. You don't have to be a member. Just even if you're not betting, come on and check it out. Secondly, those are the results in front of you for this week. We're having a great week. 37 bets, 16 winners, 65% return on investment. It's been a great start to the week. Hopefully today is good. Hopefully tonight's good. Hopefully Saturday is even better. Let's move on. Next is 6 meetings for 3. Cox Plate, Bendigo Cup, the 4 big meetings over Spring Carnival, Derby, Melbourne Cup, Oaks, and the big Saturday meeting to finish us off. $150, 50% off. Let's get into max bets for the weekend. Starting off I want to start with Rivellino, and then I will get into the max bet free carry at Doomben. But Rivellino. So on the grind, I've been talking about class a lot and how these class horses have been coming back. We saw Private Eye. Can't remember the other ones, but Private Eye last week was off the map. There's been quite a few. Every time I go on a Saturday and check, and I haven't been on them, why they have been so well backed, it's that class edge, and you won't find a better scenario than Rivellino on Saturday. So let's just go and have a look at that class, the race strength measure here. So Rivellino's coming out of a Caulfield Guineas, coming out of a Golden Rose as well, and 91 against 83 and 81. So that the race strength measure is 8 points above the second, which is Fermoy. So that's huge on a Saturday. That Rivellino's coming out of those Group 1s, and the other horses are coming out of listed races as well. You can also see Rivellino, which I'm going to go and talk to you about as well, and show you the old screen, show you the ratings, and I want your feedback on Rivellino's ratings and what to look for. But let's just see what I've come up with. So I've come up with a class speed weight rating of 90, which is 7 points above Hope at 83. Cam Rivellino behind Hope at 90. Oh, same. No, sorry, 93 all. So let's just go and have a look at Rivellino's ratings over on the screen over here. This is the old screen that I used to work off, which is quite easy to show. So what I want to know is this from you guys. I want your feedback on this. So Rivellino, Saturday's race is over 1,600 metres, Caulfield 1,600, Caulfield Guineas 1,400. What my question is, are these ratings here relevant? Forget the 1,400 metre run here, but all these ratings here, are they relevant? Is the 1,100 and 1,200 metres relevant for the overall time ratings and also the sectional ratings? So let's just get over here and have a look at Rivellino's sectional ratings, which are here. So the 2,600's the early section. You can see that they went pretty fast in that Caulfield Guineas. Rivellino itself went at 111 and settled 5th. So Rivellino's showing a bit more pace and has drawn barrier 1 on Saturday, which I like. Nash can hunt forward. I think he will sit 3rd or 4th fence on Rivellino. But the question that I'm posing, are these sprint numbers here, 129 last 200, a 103, a 100, that were done over 1,200, 1,100 metres? Are they relevant? Should you include them in algorithms or should you ignore them? Or if you don't, should you just go with these numbers, which are a lot lower over the 1,600? So you can see that last 600 metre, 82 in the Golden Rose, then regress back to 53 off that hot tempo. So obviously if they're going fast early, they're going to come home slower late and vice versa. So Rivellino has done a 112 last 600, a 109 last 600, and a 112 last 600 off reasonably slow, or this one was solid, off slow, solid tempos, but over 1,200 and 1,100 metres. My question is, where do you draw the line with distance, number one? My second question is, how far back do you go? So would you only focus on this prep for Rivellino, or would you go back into Rivellino's earlier career runs? So there's 2 questions I'd love your comments and your feedback on. How far back do you go? And distance-wise, where do you draw the line for a 1,600-metre race? Do you include 1,200-metre races, or would you only look at those 1,400-metre races? Let's just have a look at this race strength, because this is what it's all about for me. A couple other things I like with this, but also the race strength. So if you take out those first three runs, 90, 87, 88, 89, 92, 89, dropping back to a race strength of 82, and well weighted at that race strength compared to the other horses in the field as well. Let's just jump back over. I'll just show you this horse, which I'm against as well, Rural Nation. If we look at the overall ratings, 82, 74, 81. The thing I've got Rural Nation a lay in the race. Coming off three fast tempo races as well is the only positive for me. Has that 1,600 metre under the belt, but these numbers aren't quite up to the two, I hope, and obviously Rivellino. So 81, not a not competitive compared to these other ones. 85, I think, and I hope going from 14 to 16 will suit. Solid tempo, came home slow, but when I look at this number here, did a fast number of 128, 119 and 128, but once again, it was over 1,200 metres. Horses that sometimes look like they're going to be able to sprint over that increased distance. They might come home well over 12, might come home well over 14, and you think, 1,600 really suits, but often it doesn't, and they can't sprint over that extra journey. Did a 52, 87, 95, and 52. I do think Hope is the danger. Let me just get back over to the King Zone screen and just go through the rest of this race. So we've talked about this. Top of my class speed weight, Rivellino 90, and quite a marked gap back as well. This is what interests me a lot with Rivellino is the cruising. So Rivellino, who's generally a get back horse, showed a bit of pace in that Caulfield Guineas, sat, I think, about fifth fence, and was allowed to do that because of the barrier. I think drew barrier 3, will be allowed to do it again with Nash in the saddle from barrier 1, and will sit, I think, as I said, I think probably third fence, fourth fence. Let's just have a look at these factors and the prices. Marked Rivellino, $2, $2.30 on offer at the moment. There was $3 yesterday. Couple of scratchings. Not sure what the deduction is. I haven't bet yet on Rivellino. Price is easing back out a bit at the moment. I'm just sort of monitoring it. But as we talked about, class edge, jockey, we love Nash. Forgive last start, got a little bit block for room there. Could have finished a little bit closer. Easier race, tick, tick, tick. Good value coming out of a Caulfield Guineas and a Golden Rose. Looks a very, very strong bet to me. I think the only danger is number 2, Ahope, who is going to 1,600 for the first time, which off those sections I do think will be suited. But marked $5, $4.40. I'm against Rural Nation. 310, I think, is very short. Will ease out in the market. Can't see anything below those 3 winning. But I'm all over Rivellino. Max bet time. Let's jump on and hopefully get the cash. So let's move on from Randwick and go up to Doomben, where my max bet is in race 5, number 7, Free Carry. This is a very different one to Rivellino in that Free Carry is actually going up in grade. This is a harder race for Free Carry, but I love the setup with Free Carry. So for me, this race is all about the weight, 3 things, and why I think Free Carry can improve. 60 kilos down to 52.5 for Emily. And also the race pressure. So if we go down here, have a look, race pressure, tick, straight to the front off a slow tempo with no weight, and also gets blinkers on. I'm prepared to forgive the failure last time at Toowoomba off a pretty fast early tempo. I just want to go and have a look at the favourite in this race because this is an interesting one as well, Victory Win. I'll duck back over to the old screen. Victory Win, which I had Victory Win a bet off the old screen. Now it's a lay. So it just shows how putting different things in can really move your bets around. Some win, some, you're not always right, you're not always wrong. what I do want to show you here is this, and this is very interesting and how class measures can change. So this RVAL number here is a generic measure of the race, of the class of the race. So victory wins going down in grade from a 99 to a 97.5. But on my race strength number, which is actually the quality of competitor in the race, 87 up to 90. So I love this scenario where everyone thinks the horse is going down in class, but on my numbers, it's actually going up in class. Um, let's just have a quick look while we're here at the horse we like, Free Carry. Free Carry failed at Toowoomba, but often, and I was talking about which runs to include and which runs not to. I find like if you're producing an algorithm to come up with a projected rating, sometimes you just got to overlook this. A horse might not have been well on the day, or just the track condition didn't suit. You'll often just get outliers, and they'll regress back to what they were. So you can see these top ratings for Free Carry, and even before that, second at Doomben was off a slow tempo, which Free Carry really dictates this tempo. So can get back to these ratings with the blinkers on. Camp obviously not happy with that last run and are doing something to mix it up. Let's get back over to the King Zone and have a look what's going on with Free Carry and just have a look at the market. What I love is two things here. I love the lays, 2 lays in the race, 2 lays, and also bet. That's why I've got Free Carry so short. $3. I took $5.50 and $6 yesterday. Still think $4.40 is a great price. But I've got 2 lays, obviously, in this race. Kibosh and also Victory Win, who gets back on the fence, predicted pace negative, maps to get a long way back, drawn barrier 2, going to need a bit of luck. Came off a slow tempo last time and just got the cash, but I think he's under the odds here. Let's have a quick look at Free Carry. As I mentioned, it's all about the weight, all about the cruising. Gets those blinkers first time as well. And an unsuitable tempo last time and just knocked up. But I think Emily will go a bit slower in front. And Golan knows obviously what he's doing, freak trainer. Let's move on to the WS Cox Plate, the last running at Moonee Valley of the Cox Plate before they do the renos there. Let's just get over. It's not really a betting race for me, but as it's a Cox Plate, I wanted to have a quick look at what I've priced him just to show you. I do think there's 2 hopes. Via Sistina from Antino. I've got Treasure the Moment in for third and Aliana in for fourth, but the only 2 I could be on are Via and Antino. Let's have a quick look. The race pressure is a really interesting one. Obviously, slow, predicted slow. I think Line Infantryman will go to the front from Ethan Brown. Treasure the Moment from 1 is also a chance to lead, and I think Attrition's going to go forward as well. But I actually don't think it's going to be as slow as what everyone else thinks, just because I think these roughies are going to put some pressure into the race. And I think they've got to do something different on Treasure the Moment as well and try and either lead or sit a lot handier than she has been. These numbers are all with Via, 114 Cam. Where's the race strength? Aliana, Via, Antino, race strength, Via, Antino, Aliana coming out of the Turnbull, which was the highest race rating as well, and the form lead up for the spring, the form race to look at, I think. Cruising, interesting, light infantryman 102 leading the way. He's got to go forward. He's got to go forward, Ethan Brown, and lead this race, in my opinion. Let's have a quick look at acceleration. Have a look at Via through the roof. Aliana, very good as well. Via needs that fast tempo on to get that acceleration, but when she's on, and I think she will be on Saturday, no one can really match it with her. Let's have a look at the market. I've marked Aliana, 40s light infantryman. I think you'll get 50 to 1. Could nearly throw something on him, as I think you never know. These things keep going sometimes. Antino, the only overlay in the race, mark 370, $4. Just coming off that Turnbull, sat 3 wide, no cover. If you haven't seen it, go and have a look at the tape. 3 wide, no cover. Blake went to the sort of pushed forward mid-race and also then sat 3 wide on pace and still beat Via Sistina home. So I expect there to be money for Antino. Marked 370. Via marked $3, sorry, $2.50. I think you'll get 250. I saw 250 on Betfair. Chris Waller's a master trainer. James McDonald, we don't need to talk about how good he is. These guys know what to do on grand final day. Chris Waller will be doing it, and I think Via Sistina will improve. I think there's two hopes to win the race. No value for me though. I don't really want to take. I saw 440 via Antino, 440 and sort of 250, 260. If I backed them both, you're taking $1.60. You're going to be on the winner. A little bit too short for me. Treasure of the moment, I think, just not going good enough. Needs to lift. If I own Treasure of the moment, I'll be going to the lead in this race as well, unless the toppy went mad and it's really sitting on pace. Aliana, marked $9.50, $8. She needs to improve. She can. We all know how good she is. Wouldn't completely surprise me if Aliana won. Buckaroo, if I was going to lay anything over the gap, it'd be Buckaroo. I just don't think he's going good enough and has the sprint in him unless they go crazy in front to get over the top. And I think Nepotism, it's just too hard an ask, even with that low weight for Nepotism. So that's it. I'll say it again. Friday's free. If you haven't signed up, get on to theking.zone and check it out. Even if you're not betting, you'll get all this info for the 3 meetings tonight for free. Go beat your bookie on Saturday. Keep your head. Bet smart as well. Stay in the zone. And I will see you on Monday for we're not doing the grind on Monday. I'll see you on. I'm going to film it Monday. Probably be out Tuesday. Episode 3 of the Melbourne Cup, which I'm really looking forward to. I've got a couple that I'm going to be betting right up on at the call of the card. I know them already. I'll see you soon. Good luck Saturday.
Think, is this a bet you really want to place? For free and confidential support, call the number on the screen or visit the website.